A new day, it's a new car, and it's a new coating to test. Let's get right into it. Today in the shop, we're working on this gorgeous 2023 BMW 230i. When the customer called me saying that he had a brand new BMW that he was looking to have coated from head to toe, he wants the front glass windshield coated, the paint coated, even the wheel faces coated, I knew exactly what product I wanted to use for this vehicle. I presented all of my packages and coating options to the customer, and the one he chose to go with, fortunately, was the coating that we're premiering for you guys today. So I'm really excited to demonstrate for you guys what the application process looks like. But first, let's get her cleaned and prepped. We're going to first off do our tires and wheels. We're going to use McKee's 37, their new gentle wheel cleaner, as well as their updated formula for their tire and rubber rejuvenator. If you guys would like to see a closer look at these two products, give us a thumbs up. Maybe we'll do a dedicated video or a YouTube short sharing with you guys how these two products perform. Before we put the coating on, you want to make sure there's no protection whatsoever on this vehicle. The dealership had applied something to this, so we need to strip it off. We're going to be using Vonix Citron. It's a higher pH alkaline soap, and McKee's 37, their Coating Prep Auto Wash. These two products are going to do a really great job of weakening the protection, and then we're also going to do a chemical decon with Shine Supply Smooth Move, as well as the Rag Company Ultra Clay Towel. That's the blue thing hanging off the side of my bucket. This is a great way to just very quickly decontaminate your paint. Anytime you're applying a ceramic coating, whether on a brand new or a used vehicle, prep is key. You want to make sure that there's absolutely no protection whatsoever on your vehicle. You want to make sure you've done a thorough decontamination. You want to have completely smooth as glass paint, so that way your coating will be able to apply and bond with the actual clear coat that's on your vehicle versus anything that might be in between. After doing our decontamination and rinsing, we could still see some hydrophobics on this paint, so we will have to polish, which is fine. I was planning on doing a quick paint enhancement anyway, so we're going to dry everything off using our Hurricane dryer. That's just going to help blow out all of the water in the nooks and crannies very quickly and effectively. This is a fantastic car dryer for those of you that are on the market for a really great one. Now that everything is dry, we can examine our paint. There is just a little bit of light swirls and scratches on it, but there's really two big issues on this vehicle that we need to address. First and foremost is a detailer's nightmare. We have piano trim for the very bottom of our rocker panels. This is going to scratch very easily for the customer, but the biggest issue actually is that there is a fine white overspray all over this vehicle. It's gonna create quite some issues for me when it comes to correcting, and we'll talk that through in just a second. But we polished everything. After doing our polish step, the vehicle looks so amazing. Being a new car, we were able to pretty much get paint perfection very easily with our orange foam pad and Phoenix EOD Fabulous Finishing Polish. So it's been a much longer day than anticipated. We had a lot of overspray we had to battle. I don't know what it was or where it came from, and it was very hard to see when you had the vehicle wet. As soon as you kind of spray it with your lubricant, it would kind of disappear. You'd go over it with the clay bar, which obviously would mar the paint, dry everything off, and then it kind of would still be there. So it's just like a constant back and forth with clay barring, and then obviously polishing to remove the marring, realizing it still wasn't there. We're done. Paint looks absolutely fantastic. Now we are ready to apply our coating, and this is going to be a really interesting one. So let me go ahead and grab it and we'll kind of talk about it for a minute. So if you follow this channel for a while, you know that one of my favorite coatings to apply has been the McKee's 37, their Graphene ceramic coating. This is a single layer up to 5-year durability claim, extremely user-friendly, very chemical resistant coating. It's been one of my favorites to apply from a lot that I've tested recently. My customers have been very happy with the end result, and I've seen really nice things. When I've done torture tests, I compared it to over 15 different coatings, and it was one of the top 3 when it came to chemical resistance, and out of retail products, it was actually the #1. So been very impressed with that product. But recently, McKee's 37 came out with their Graphene Pro Coat 2.0. Now, when I reached out to Nick about this product, actually, the first thing I said is it just as easy to apply as the original formula? And he said, yes, it is just as easy to apply. It just has a higher solids within it. This is actually a 10H coating which on the Mohs scale just means it's really hard. It's going to actually offer some scratch resistance. It's not scratch proof. You don't want to drive it through the woods with twigs and just think you're going to walk away from it. You're not going to key your car and think you're not going to get anything. If you take it through the car wash and abuse it with the beater bars, it is going to get scratched, but it will offer some scratch resistance, going to help kind of give you a sacrificial layer on top of your clear coat to give you some brunt against it. But again, don't go abusing it and torturing it and thinking that you're going to have immaculate paint. But what I am impressed about this is a single layer up to 5-year durability claim. This is actually single layer up to 10-year durability claim. You heard me right. I'm kind of skeptical, I'll be honest with you. I don't think that majority of coatings are going to last beyond that 5 to 7 year mark. Realistically, you're probably going to need to have your vehicle polished before you even get to that 10-year mark. So for me, I don't know if it is a valid point that you need to have a coating that lasts that long. But especially up north where we're just kind of exposed to a lot of rough elements with our vehicles, even if it lasts 5, 6, 7 years before you have to polish your vehicle, that's really nice. It's $200 for this bottle, 2 ounces here. So what I want to see out of this product today is it as user-friendly as it is to apply as our original formula? I know how nice this is to apply. I want to compare it to the original formula as far as application, but we're also going to be applying this to one of my own vehicles. We're going to be doing some durability tests for you guys. We're going to do frequent updates with this product for those of you that want a closer look to see. Maybe you are either an enthusiast or a detailer. You're just starting out. Maybe you live in an area where you don't have access to maybe some of the authorized installer only products that are out there. Majority of ceramic coatings, if you want 5+ year durability claims, you need to have access to a pro grade authorized only product. And a lot of those require certification. You either have to go to a facility, get tested within it, or meet up with someone, or maybe you have to purchase a certain amount of product from that company to become authorized. You don't have to become authorized to be able to gain access. You can go onto McKees 37, their website, or any website that sells this, purchase the product yourself, and you have it delivered to your home. So this could potentially be a game changer for some detailers without having to become authorized only. So that's kind of a big deal. I'm excited to test this out. So for those that want to see updates on this product, we're going to do some torture tests on a test panel. We're going to be applying this to one of my vehicles, so we'll be able to share with you guys updates on that product. And we're also going to be doing updates on this vehicle as we see it. So for now, let's just go ahead. Let's see what it is to apply, how user-friendly it is, how far we can get with one bottle. And then from there, we'll go with updates as we see those vehicles. But let's go ahead and get this applied. I'm kind of nervous. I don't know if it's going to be as easy as this one. So let's go ahead and get it applied.
Right off the bat, I want you to notice that it's actually a clear solution. Some graphene coatings actually have a grayish hue to them because of the quote-unquote graphene oxide within it. As always, when applying coatings, we're going to do an up and down, side-to-side motion.
Definitely need more product.
Don't be afraid, especially on that first section, to go a little heavier with your solution on your pad. I did find that I needed a little bit more just to get through that first section. But once our pad was primed, I didn't have to use a whole lot of product or as much. I did find that it glided very smoothly across the panel. It wasn't a very thick solution. Some of your more tenacious coatings can be actually pretty thick, and you can almost feel that thickness with your pad, but this glided very smoothly across the paint. We could immediately see rainbowing going on. Now, instructions for this coating say you want to work panel by panel. You don't necessarily have to speed through this though. It's not like you have to immediately grab your towels and buff off. We are actually giving it a few seconds. You can see we've got a nice rainbowing effect going on. Now we're going to come in and level.
Okay, yeah, it's just as easy. That feels really nice and slick already. It's not grabby whatsoever. Nick said apply panel by panel just like you do the other coating. I think that actually might be easier to remove than the original formula. How did you get something that durable but yet that easy to apply? Shut the front door. Not coated. You can feel like immediate slickness. That feels really nice. Okay. That's awesome. So we're gonna test this half here and just let it sit on there for a little bit and see if we let it sit a little bit longer, if it's gonna be a little bit more difficult to remove, because that was almost too easy to remove. You can see the rainbowing. You can actually see like almost instantly where the solvent is starting to kind of sweat off a little bit. So we've got a little sweating, a little rainbowing. We've got a mixture of the two. We're gonna turn off some of our lights. And you can really see the rainbowing with this coating a lot easier. With rainbowing coatings, indirect lighting works really well. So we're actually gonna bring out our light box for you guys to be able to see. That's gonna really help identify any sort of high spots, but this is really, on this color, very easy to see this coating. But we're gonna let this sit on there just a little bit longer than last time and see if it's any more difficult or just as easy to remove. So again, you can really see that rainbowing going on. This is the side we just coated. This is what we just removed. I have the heat blowing right on this panel. So we turned off the lights just so you can see it a little bit better. Ever so slight, a little bit more grab, but again, not difficult if you let it sit on there. And that was maybe a minute or two that we let it sit on here. But after this second towel, you just feel that slickness under your towel and it feels so nice. You can just do straight motion. You don't have to do fatiguing small circles. I'm applying this about 8:15 at night. It's been a longer day. I'm gonna be able to very quickly get around this vehicle and not be exhausted by the end of it. So for that, Nick, thank you. To your chemists, thank you. Because personally, ceramic coatings, they're a lot of work with the prep. And by the time you get to the actual coating installation, you're tired. I don't want to have to spend, another hour or two with my arms when I've already polished for several hours, having to fight a coating. So, thank you for making this so user-friendly.
Now that our pad is primed, this is about how much I used per section. Like I said, not a lot. So when it comes to application, this coating is almost a dream to work with. It feels almost too good to be true. So I personally am very interested to see more results from this coating. The more I apply this on customers' vehicles, the more I'm going to be able to see in the future to be able to share with you guys. But especially on a coating that is just this user-friendly, just hopefully sharing with you guys a few glimpses of how I approach it, how I apply it. It's not a intimidating product whatsoever to apply. You can see on some of your more intricate areas, like your front bumper, your rear. I'm just going to kind of take it section by section and really utilize that softbox light to be able to see any sort of high spots. This is the perfect coating to be able to see high spots with, especially if you utilize that softbox light. But I'm just basically doing 2 sections at a time, which would be the equivalent of 1 panel. We're going to apply and then come in with our towels, level and buff off. And then once we're done, examine with our softbox light just to see if there's any sort of high spots. The next day when I pulled this out into the sunlight, I didn't have a single high spot. It was wonderful.
We are all done applying our McKees 37, the Graphene Pro Coat 2.0. And I have to be quite honest with you, I found this actually easier to apply than the original formula. I don't know, maybe that was just I was going into it thinking it was going to be tenacious or difficult. And this was honestly one of the easiest coatings to apply. Personally, I'm a little skeptical with a coating being that easy to apply that it's going to live up to the 10-year claims, but time will tell. We're definitely going to be doing real-world updates for you guys on this coating, on this vehicle and on other vehicles in the future. So for those that want to follow this journey, make sure you are staying tuned. We're going to be giving you guys updates as we see these vehicles, because this is one that I'm going to keep my eye out for. If it's as easy as it is to apply and it lives up to even half of its claims, this will be a worthwhile coating for many to consider. We have some more work to do on this vehicle. We got to get our wheels, the wheel faces coated. We've got to get our front windshield glass coated. So we're not done for the night, but when it came to the paint and the trim, it couldn't have been easier. The results speak for itself. Now, we do have rain in the forecast tomorrow, so unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to pull it out in the daylight. I'm trying to convince the customer to let me keep it an extra day, just so that way we don't have any risk of water getting on it. So if we can pull this out into the daylight at some point before the customer picks it up, we will bring you along just to show you. We're going to call that one a wrap for the evening. We'll see you guys shortly just to show you the finished appearance, so stay tuned.
When I started working with this product, I wasn't sure what to expect. When I pulled it outside on the 3rd day, I was just speechless with how glass-like this blue paint looked. Our piano trim pieces just popped out even more. It just made every curve and every line on this vehicle just look, I'll just say it, sexy. This vehicle looked so good with this coating on it. But I want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on this product? I know I have a lot of opinions, and I'm going to be putting a little bit more data behind theory. We have coated my husband's truck with it already. We're going to be sharing that video with you guys very soon. But we're also going to be able to share with you guys some real-world updates, some real-world durability tests, not just throwing a harsh chemical on it to see if I can kill it. So for those that want to follow that journey, make sure you tag along and hit that notification bell off to the side and subscribe. But let me know down below, what do you guys think of this product? And is this one that you're intrigued to see more about? And if so, what do you want to see from it? Because we're going to be able to do a lot more up-close tests on this product in the future. For those that want to see the hydrophobics, I didn't get any on this vehicle, but we did get some on my husband's truck. Here's just a quick sneak peek.
Oh yeah. That looks really good. Look at this extremely tight beads. If I blow on it, I cannot wait for its first wash.